Dwayne Sweeney gives the white flag, signaling one more lap to Arie Luyendyk. And Emerson Fittipaldi comes past there, but it doesn't matter to Arie because Arie is a good 12 seconds out in front of the second place Bobby Rahal.
Arie Luyendyk, 36 years old, half a lap now from having that monkey of winless streaks off of his back.
What a race to win.
An incredible win it will be, and at an incredible pace, 185.8 miles an hour, his average on the last lap. There's the main straightaway line ahead, and his destiny. Arie Luyendyk comes for the checkered flag and picks up the win as Arie Luyendyk wins the 74th running of the Indianapolis 500, his very first Indycar victory. Now less than 2 miles for Rick Mears. If he holds on, he will become the third four-time winner of the Indianapolis 500 here on the 75th running of the great race. Chris Mears as Rick runs the straightaway. One corner left to go. One corner left to run. You can see the checkered flag just ahead of him now. Mears has accomplished what only 2 men have before. He is now a 4-time winner of the 500. And Unser Jr. sees Dwayne Sweeney's white flag, 2.5 miles, 1 more lap to go. If Scott Goodyear has a chance, the time is now. Don't forget 10 years ago, John Cox and Rick Mears raced on the last lap for the finish. John Cox won that one. That was experience over Rick Mears' relative inexperience. Will that happen again here today? They're on the backstretch. 223 miles an hour on the last lap.
No traffic involved.
They make the turn for home now. On the main stretch, Scott Goodyear closes in. He looks for a place to come by. Scott Goodyear tries it, but no.
I believe that's the closest finish in Indy history. Closer than the race 10 years ago when John Cox beat Rick Mears.
10 years ago when little Al was new to this track. And now, Unser Jr. is a winner at the Indianapolis 500. And there it is. Another Penske car heading into the record book. 2.5 miles to go. Fittipaldi works through the short chute. Now into the second turn. One more full straightaway to run. 2 corners, a short chute. And then half a stretch and Fittipaldi will be home. Luyendyk tried to close, couldn't do it, dropped even further back. In fact, it may become a battle for second between Mansell and Luyendyk. Here comes Fittipaldi, Emerson Fittipaldi. The final turn for home, the checkered flag, and Emerson Fittipaldi has won his second Indianapolis 500. History in the making, car 31. That number scoring its first win, and Mercedes-Benz in its very first race in the Indycars in modern times wins the Indianapolis 500 as a brand new engine. Unser Jr. takes his second Indianapolis 500 in his dad's prime. No one has ever come from 2 laps down to win the Indy 500. The youngest winner thus far in the history of the race was Troy Ruttman. Now, Jacques Villeneuve will be looking at a white flag and one final lap, a final 2.5 miles. An unbelievable run. The story will be told with Jacques Villeneuve went 2 laps down on a penalty and fought his way back to the front of the field across the South Chute for the final time in front of Bobby Unser.
Going by us, and he's looking really good, Paul. No problems.
Arie Luyendyk staying right there, wants to get in that winner's picture. Jacques Villeneuve on the backstretch.
The magnitude of his achievement. Listen to the roar of the crowd. Back from 2 laps down. Only his second year.
One more turn. The first Canadian on his way to winning the Indianapolis 500. Jacques Villeneuve on the home stretch. And the 79th Indy 500 has been won by Jacques Villeneuve as Arie Luyendyk screams by on the outside. The young Canadian has taken the win. Green and white at the same time. 1 lap to go. 2.5 miles in the idiot running of the Indy 500. Buddy Lazier screams down toward turn 1. Jones doesn't seem like he can make a move on him. Onto the backstretch.
Looking good coming out of here.
Jones still looking for a chance to move. He's trying to get around toward A. He's around him now, in contact with the leader. The third turn, 1 to go at Indianapolis. Buddy Lazier taking a look at the fourth turn, comes off the fourth corner. And the checkered flag lies just ahead as Buddy Lazier takes the checkered flag and wins the Indianapolis 500. Here we go. 1 more lap. 2.5 miles and the Indy 500 will be decided.
Get going, buddy, get going. That's yellow out there. It's green again.
Apparently, the yellow light is still on some sections of the racetrack.
It's green here in the back straightaway, Paul.
That's what that radio warning was. So they're keeping it speed.
I'm not too sure about that last start by Usack there.
Making the turn for home. Here comes Arie Luyendyk.
Get down here. That's it, baby.
And you heard the call on their two-way radio. Arie Luyendyk now becomes a two-time winner at Indy. Luyendyk, the pole sitter, has taken the Indy 500. Driving away from the competition, Eddie Cheever is on his way to being the 58th different winner of the Indianapolis 500-mile race. The crowd standing, the crowd cheering. He can almost carry the car from this point. His final pass down the backstretch.
He'd like to get through 3 and 4 before he starts carrying it.
Final pass through the north end. Off of turn 4, down the long front stretch, screaming for the yard of bricks, hand up, saluting the crowd. Eddie Cheever has won the 82nd running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
The white flag is about to come out at Indianapolis. He's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. Wow. Robbie Gordon is out of fuel as Kenny Brack comes down to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go in the Indy 500. Incredible heartbreak for Robbie Gordon, out of fuel. And now A.J. Foyt's pit.
Bob, it's the biggest race in the world. You got to go. You got to gamble. They did, and they lost.
Half a lap to go for Brack.
Look at the checker flag, Rover. Keep coming, Jimmy, keep coming. You only got the white checker this time. Come on, come on.
Here he is. Kenny Brack wins the 1999 83rd running of the Indianapolis 500.
1 more lap to go for Juan Montoya.
Well, he's got a fast race car, but he's handled every situation thrown at him for 500 miles, Bob.
Especially the start of the race, which was a little dodgy. He didn't come out on top on that one, but he wasn't that eager to take the lead. He got a little squeeze there. Just kind of stayed in 4th place, came back to the front, and has hardly relinquished that lead.
Again, a rookie has not won the Indianapolis 500 since 1966 when Graham Hill drove to victory. It looks like that Juan Montoya is going to do it here this afternoon.
You're the winner of the Indianapolis 500, pal.
Indeed, 24-year-old Juan Montoya wins the 84th running of the Indianapolis 500. 1 more lap to go. 2.5 miles for Helio Castroneves. He'll pass Greg Ray going into turn number 1, and now De Ferran gets hung up behind some slower traffic just momentarily. but Castroneves brings it safely through turn number 2 and on to the backstretch. Well, 671 men and women have competed here in Indianapolis in the 85-year history of the 500. Only 60 have experienced the ultimate thrill of winning here. The date of May 27th, 2001 will forever be etched in the memory of Helio Castroneves. He has realized the ultimate dream. Helio Castroneves has won the Indianapolis 500.
And they're telling him on the radio, go real slow, and milk it for every bit you can. Cindric on the radio, they're still very nervous, Paul.
Wilbur Shaw, Maury Rose, Bill Vukovich, Al Unser, all have had back-to-back wins. Castroneves may be about to add his name to that list. Oh, agonizingly slow. And of course, Tracy looking for any opportunity, any falter at all. He's done it! Helio Castroneves played the economy game and wins the 86th Indianapolis 500. 2.5 miles to go for Gil De Ferran.
I guarantee you his heartbeat is going so hard right now that his chest is probably hurting. Remember last year he lost a tire after a pit stop? Looked like he had the opportunity to win that race.
If Castroneves is going to have a chance, it would be now. He tries to get a little clean air. Doesn't work for him. Through turn 3. Castroneves still trying to close. De Ferran looks at the front stretch. He can see the checkered flag now. And Gil De Ferran becomes the 62nd driver to win in Indianapolis 500. Gil De Ferran. We started the day in raindrops. We're going to finish it in raindrops. The checkered flag is waiting for Buddy Rice. Terrific year as Buddy Rice, Honda-powered Firestone shot, wins the Indianapolis 500 for Bobby Rahal and Dave Letterman. His first win.
The checkered flag is out in Indianapolis, and the pubs are open in the UK. Dan Wheldon has just won the Indianapolis 500. Not since Graham Hill in 1966 has an Englishman tasted the milk in victory lane at Indy.
White flag. I believe Marco can do this. I really think he's got it. He's got to hold the line. Low lane, Marty Scott. This kid, I believe, is going to win this race. The most exciting Daytona 5. I'm sorry, the most exciting Indy 500 ever.
Down the backstretch for the final time. His father has not won it in 15 tries. Through 3. Hornish closing one more time. Coming out of 4. Down the front stretch. It's a drag race. Marco Andretti. Hornish. Who's going to win? At the stripe. It's Hornish.
Hornish wins.
By 6/100ths of a second. The closest finish, second closest in Indy history.
Are we going to get the white flag, the checkered flag? Are we going to end this thing right now? Up on the starter stand, it is Brian Howard. And as we mentioned, the only Scotsman to win Indy was Jimmy Clark in 1965. That is until today. Tune up the bagpipes. Dario Franchitti will win at Indianapolis.
And Marty, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He's been a gentleman racer, just like his wife Ashley Judd said. This guy's got to be loving it. Great for Andretti Green.
Your missus is on the wall there too. Bloody good jump by. That was yours.
Here we go. The white flag is about to be shown to Scott Dixon. Remember, he finished second here last year. That's Buddy Lazier in front of him, the 1996 winner. Lazier, several laps down.
Come on, not in between.
Clear. Bring it home now. Bring it home.
You heard him. Bring it home. He's down the backstretch. Remember, at the beginning of the day, we talked about the perfect storm. Well, for Scott Dixon, his storm started last year at Chicago when he lost the race and the championship on the final turn of the final lap of the final race. But not today. Coming through turn number 4, Scott Dixon is going to complete his perfect storm with a win at the Indianapolis 500.
Exceptional.
1 lap to go. 2.5 miles, 4 corners. And Roger Penske doesn't even crack a smile. Never. But he knows what he's about to experience as well. Down the back straightaway for the final time.
1 mile to go. 2 corners.
This crowd, look at him, just saluting him. 5 weeks ago, Helio Castroneves was staring at jail, an orange suit, not a race suit. And now he becomes a 3-time winner of the biggest race in the world. Helio Castroneves wins at Indy. Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, a wicked crash involving 2 cars at least.
He's won it.
He's going to win it.
Franchitti has won it.
Ryan Hunter Reay involved in this.
Take the warm-up lane.
I could not see who else was involved from our angle. If he can make it to the stripe, and they told him to take the warm-up lane.
The RL guy up here to take the warm-up lane.
So he is already in the warm-up lane. And Dario Franchitti, 45 years ago, his idol Jimmy Clark won his one and only Indy 500. Oh my, what a mess in that corner. There's his wife. Today, Dario will pass his childhood hero and win his second Indianapolis 500 as he is able to coast across if he has to now. And Dan Wheldon, for the 2nd year in a row, will finish second right behind him.
What an incredible finish.
Here comes J.R. Hildebrand, this time by. The white flag is in hand. 2.5 miles.
Come on, baby, bring it home.
Keep going. The 23-year-old from Sausalito, California. Listen to the crowd cheer him on.
And how fitting for the National Guard car to win if he can indeed do that. Has he got enough fuel to make it to the end?
Half a lap. He's got half a lap to go, and he's the Indy 500 champion.
Panther Racing, oh so good. They finished second here, twice here. They come again through the final 2 corners. J.R. Hildebrand.
Careful of traffic.
He's got to get around the lap. Traffic. 100 years ago. No! He hit the wall. Just like Thomas Schechter.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Dan Wheldon is going to win the race.
Yeah, Dan!
That is unbelievable. Oh, my goodness.
Wheldon, after finishing second the last 2 years, wins when J.R. Hildebrand hits the wall coming out of 4, just as Schechter did in 2000.
What a tremendous finish. And what a drive for Wheldon. I've been saying it all day, that outside lane is a...
I love you so much.
White flag is out. Dario Franchitti takes the defensive line into one. Sato taking a peek.
It's fine. Keep going. Keep going, buddy. Yellow.
The yellow is out.
Should have waited till coming out of 2. We talked about that.
We talked about his patience. And for the 3rd time in his career, Dario Franchitti is going to win the 500, and all 3 times it's going to be under caution.
This is a race where you cannot make a mistake. That was very hard. Sato was close, but I think he got on that white line again.
He did.
Tony Kanaan is going to finish third. Remember, results are not official. We'll get word from IndyCar. But right now, here they come down the front straightaway. And Dario Franchitti is going to join an elite group as he is going to become a three-time winner at Indianapolis.
What a race. What a race. You think he was drying out his eyes there, Scott?
Absolutely. Raising his visor. Probably just trying to get the tears out of his eyes so he can stay on the track, see where he's going.
This whole place is standing up.
Let's cross this finish line first. Yeah, 10-4, buddy, 10-4. Let's cross the finish line first.
White lawn as he makes the turn out of turn 4. After years of frustration, the satisfaction of knowing his name will go on the Borg Warner Trophy, the winner.
Here they come to the white flag. We'll enter the final lap of the Indianapolis 500. Ryan Hunter Reay to the outside of Helio Castroneves for the race lead. That kind of drafting warm up the photo finish cameras. Half a lap to go. Ryan Hunter Reay leads. Helio Castroneves is second. Can Castroneves close on him? He's a couple of car lengths back. One last corner to go. Checkered flag is in the air. Here comes Castroneves. He won't get there. Florida's Ryan Hunter Reay wins the Indianapolis 500.
Captain America pulled it off.
Awesome, man, awesome.
The white flag is waiting at the yard of bricks. And we enter the final lap of the Indianapolis 500. Kimball has caught up to Power. One lap to go. Who's going to win it? Power slipped in turn 2. Justin Wilson just came off the pit lane. He and Munoz had to stop for fuel. Final 2 corners for Montoya. He was all the way back in 30th place after an opening lap's crash. Here they come to the checkered flag. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500 is Juan Pablo Montoya.
Yeah!